All right. What is up, guys? So, we're going to go over the past 2 days. My boy has been sick since Sunday night, Monday. Fever spiking up to 104. Just felt like he was just a ball of fire. Obviously, a 2-year-old with a fever that high, they're not going to be happy. You don't really have to worry and take him to the emergency room until it's like 105 plus. But we did end up taking him to the doctor yesterday because not only did he have a high fever, but he acted like his throat was hurting. So, anyways, Monday the market was closed, so we wasn't here. Tuesday his fever was really high, so obviously I wasn't going to trade and just leave him in there to burn and feel terrible by himself. And then yesterday, pretty much the same scenario, except we took him to the hospital or doctor's office. So I wasn't at my desk at all this week. This is the first day of the week I'm sitting at my desk and I can see everything and use all my tools and all that good jazz. So Tuesday I did not plan on trading at all. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit out, take care of my boy. And then my Discord chat the Discord chat that I am in, I had it set up for push notifications, so every time someone types something, it sends it straight to my phone. So I look at it, and they're talking about GNPX and what was the other one? I already took it off my list. NNVC, maybe? NNVC. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a look, and that was probably a mistake, because as soon as I pulled it up, I was like, oh, man, this looks good. And let's see. Let's pull up GNPX, for example. And then go back to Tuesday. This should be a 5-minute. So this was Tuesday. 5-minute chart. It was gapping up nice, and I was looking, boom, for over that level. And so I was watching it on my phone. My boy's, he's comfortable. I get a pen and paper, and that's how I trade. So I'm watching it on my phone. I'm watching the bid and the ask, and I was trying to be 100% as fair as possible, trading, my entries, giving myself the worst on the ask, and then when I'm selling, I'm giving myself the worst on the bid. For example, like if the bid says, like if I wanted to get into this trade, and the bid right here was 128, but the ask was 127, I would buy in at 128. And then it pops up here. Let's say the bid is like 140, but the ask is 148. I'd sell at 140. So I tried to be 100% fair with like that. Wow, look at GNPX just, tanking. Right as we've got the chart up. It just dropped from 162 to a dollar. They must have come out with like an offering or something. Let's see. It is not on the dot, offering. Boom! Man, I'm good. Anyways, so that's how I traded the past 2 days. Now, the other one, NNVC, this one was crazy. Now, I missed the first, really nice run-up. This one right here. I missed this, all of it. But I didn't miss this. And I didn't miss this, and I didn't miss this, and I didn't miss this. And also, so I don't know if trading this way, not knowing a P&L at all, because I'm just writing down numbers. I had to enter it all into a spreadsheet and then upload it and let TraderView do all the math. I had no clue where I was at on the day. I knew I was green because I only lost like 3 trades out of maybe 20 because I was taking profits quickly. For the fact that I didn't know, when I trade here, I can hit buy and then I can immediately watch the money stacking up, and then I hit sell when I'm at like $300, $400, $500. Trading the other way, I buy in and I'm watching the chart move, and I'm like, okay, it's moved 20 cents. I should get out because that's a decent move. So after I added everything up and uploaded it, it was $19,582. Oh man, let's go. And it separated all the trades out. But there's only two tickers I traded, GNPX and NNVC. Now, NNVC I did get on my desktop for lunch hours for like an hour. And within that hour, I banked like $7 grand on NNVC on my computer. So, and I was sending pictures of that to the Discord chat. Like, man, guys, I was, not trading today and still up 7,000 on my, my simulation. But, I don't know. I don't like to trade that way, pen and paper. But the past 2 days, I had no choice. Yesterday was the same thing. I didn't make 20,000, but I did end up making, I think it was 5,000. And like I said, I don't know if trading that way, not being able to see the P&L helps, because if it does, maybe I'll turn my P&L off on my simulation if I can find out how. I don't know if I can on the active trader thing. But so that was the past 2 days, 19,582 and 5,600 brings my total profits to 70,400. My largest gain has finally beat my largest loss, 12,532. That was in NVC. And I think that was, after it separated the trade. I don't know how it, if it counts like one trade being like that, or because you can see right here. Oops. So NVC 12,000, but also, 860 here. 1350 here, and that was it. So I mean, on that ticker for the day, it was more like 15,000. So anyways, yes, reports. That also brought my percentage up a little bit, so I'm at 58% win rate. My wins versus my losses is not quite, double my losses, but it's still pretty close. It's like right there at it. So I'd like to get this up, to more than double of what my losses is, and I'd still like to get this up to about 65%. So I need to work on that. I need to take less trades and better trades. So, or just make better trades overall. But anyways, that's enough for my trader view stats. I'm probably going to reset my account in February to like 30,000, and then trade with like 5 to 10,000 of that 30. So I've been thinking about doing that because that's going to be realistic. I mean, this account's up to 75 grand now. I'm not going to ever have 75,000 at the beginning to trade with, so it's just ridiculous. And I don't even use the buying power. Now on NNVC, I was going in with like $50,000, 45, 50 grand, but on a stock like that, where it's running and getting halted from 5 to 13, you want to capitalize on that. Like if I put in 50 grand here at 5 and then sell at 10, that would have been 50,000 profit. I mean, no one holds that long, but I mean, that's the potential. I mean, you could have literally bought here $6 at 110 and sold, here at $12 at 205. So if you'd hold an hour with, $50,000 invested, you make $50,000. So anyways, let's go over the gap scanner and see what stocks we're going to be looking at today, because I haven't even had a chance to do that. So we got CODX on the gap scanner. Let me pull up my watch list so I can add stuff to it. CODX, and it's gapping up pretty nicely. Let's look at the daily. So it's above all moving averages on the daily chart. Whoa. Okay, my boy does not sound happy. Give me just a minute. All right. So anyways, I think he's had so much attention over the past 3 days. He's kind of sad, I guess. He's not getting as much attention today, but he's had plenty. Okay, where was I? CODX. It's gapping up nicely. It's above all indicators. Probably going to have... Well, let's see. It's above that level. So... I don't know. It's got a history of gapping up and then giving it all back. So we'll watch it. But I don't... It's not going to be like a play that I expect to work out extremely well. What is next? AFH. Let's see what's going on here. Ugh. Not the best looking chart. And 10 million float. CODX is 15 million float. Nothing crazy low. Nothing crazy low on the float. This is the lowest float on the gap scanner, and it's 46 cents. I don't like stocks under $1. So nothing. Oh no, yeah, 46 cents. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was looking at something else. So that's it under. I mean, the next one is HZO. Don't really. Oh crap. HZO. Yeah, don't like that at all. LLIT. L-lit. Come on, my typing is terrible. Yeah, that's a nasty looking chart. Super low volume. 10 million float, gapping up 44%, 85 cents stock. Going to have strong resistance at $1 and the 200 moving average. So I doubt that goes anywhere. TWMC. Oh, there we go. That looks good. TWMC. Now this I just pulled straight off of Dex stream up there. Oh my god. I don't know if y'all ever have issues with this, but I have issues all the time with TD Ameritrade Simulator watch list. Or actually, I think it happens on my when I had a live account too. Like if you type in something, you click on something else, it doubles up, and then when you click on something else again, they both disappear. It's weird. So TWMC. He covered it up. So I was gonna look at the gap. Jesus Christ, deck. $517K float. Nice. INNT. See, the gap scanner's already changed since I took a quick snippet photo of it. Now there's a couple stocks on it that are, that's not really low in float. KLDO. KLDO. Oh, straight up. Is that halted? On 300 shares? 400 shares? I don't know. It's kind of strange. Any news? Nope. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna put this on here just because, I mean, no, not really any volume, but we'll see what it does. But yeah, not a whole lot on the gap scanner that looks great, so we'll just see what the market gives us. I'm gonna switch over to Dex commentary now. I've had some internet issues, so if it cuts out, I apologize. I'll get it back up as quick as possible, but I'm going to turn off my mic and turn on the audio for deck, and we'll get this day started. All right, good luck, everybody.
Then CODX at this time. CODX, do we like it? Yes. CODX does have a lot of potential? Yes. I don't even think we went over so far. What's even the reason on why CODX is up? I think I just started jumping in on it. Well, it tests for new coronavirus using Coprimer platform. And just us seeing this word right here, coronavirus, right? What do we say to ourselves? Hey, that's a hot topic. Just like we see many trends form in the stock market. And what do we mean by trends form? Well, who was here when the Bitcoin? Who was here when that Bitcoin bubble exploded? And Bitcoin went from like $6,000 all the way up to anything that had the word Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain, anything in it, guys, ran on massive, massive spikes in the market, especially penny stocks. So all we didn't even look at the news every single morning. All we did was search by keywords, and I just typed in crypto, blockchain, or Bitcoin, and we just sat here waiting for one press release on those to come on out, and that's the stock that went on a like $10 spike. We didn't even care about anything else because that's the only thing that matters, right? Who was here again when shipper plays? All we did was look for a shipper. Who was here when we had cannabis plays and marijuana plays? All we did was look for a cannabis, keywords. Who was here when we had all these other examples, right? So that this is kind of turning into that a little bit. Anything that has to do with the disease or anything that has to do with the coronavirus ends up going on a big gap up or a big spike. Right, so that's kind of what we've been seeing lately, happen on these plays, and definitely a little crazy to see. So make sure you guys are aware of it. But as of now, we are seeing a little bit more volume over at TWMC. So TWMC, this is one that has a little bit more volume. This is one that has a little bit more hype. I would say again, bounce play would probably be back between 485 and the 470 range. That's what I'm thinking for the bounce play over on TWMC. 485 to the 470 range for the bounce. Okay. Other than that, CODX is our number 2 play. Now, I didn't read our morning newsletter, and I apologize. It's not in our I didn't read the CNBC briefing, and I apologize, it's not in the morning newsletter today. But what is the CNBC briefing? And I'll just take a little screenshot of this just because it makes it so much easier to be able to read it yourself while I'm reading it to follow along. And what we have here is U.S. stock futures are pointing to a slightly lower open ahead of Thursday session after a mixed session on Wednesday. The Dow has had 2-day losing streak, its first back-to-back losses since December 9th and 10th. Although the S&P 500 and Nasdaq have risen in 4 of the past 5 days. So, just a little bit of a mixed review right here, nothing really too crazy. World leaders continue to meet at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin at a press even there sharply criticized the financial credentials of a Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg today, saying the 17-year-old should study economics at college before lecturing the U.S. on fossil fuel investments. Okay, so nothing really too big right there, to be honest. More about just saying, hey, we have a mixed reviews in the market. We have a little bit of, up, a little down right here. Nothing really too crazy. We'll see how Thursday, ends up. So what plays do we need to really be focusing on? What plays do we really need to be looking at? Number one is TWMC. TWMC, look for the bounce play that could be coming on up, very shortly. I am thinking 475 to 485, that 10-cent range. All right, so I just want to see TWMC. We have 475 to 485 for the bounce play. That kind of like 10-cent range. And since this play is up, since this play, everyone's looking at, since this play, everyone's aware of, I do think this probably will get a little bit of a morning spike right on up. And that's just because why? That's just because everyone's aware of it. Just like everyone's aware of CODX, I think CODX still has a lot of potential today. CODX, I think if this one breaks $3, this could easily get back up to 330, 320. But TWMC is a little bit hotter at this time. And since it's a little bit hotter, since it has a little bit more volume, since it has a little bit more action towards it right now, traders are going to say, hey, you know what? Let's look to see if this play is going to go on a nice spike or rip. Worst case scenario, it falls through 485, 475. It would go all the way back down towards around like 446, 200-day moving average. Now, again, I think, within the next 15 cents, you're going to get the bounce play. But the worst case scenario is that if it ever fell down to 446, that would be a bounce play because that's the 200-day moving average. So let's go over, again, 2 different game plans right now. Your number 1 game plan, TWMC, low float stock, agreement news, number 2 top gainer, up 110%. Bounce play is between 485, 475, looking for a rebreak of $5 at the bell for the stock to start taking on off and start getting some good volume behind it. If the stock, falls beneath 475 support, its bottom support is going to be the 200-day moving average. If you want to, you can get in at 485, 475, bounce play off the 200-day moving average or the break of $5. Target would be up near around pre-market highs at around 575, but be a smart trader, use your head, and as the stock climbs, make sure you guys are locking in your profits. So that would be your game plan on TWMC. Your game plan on CODX. CODX has had some very nice support at the bottom areas of 280. 280 has been our main support line at this time, and with that being said, you can always look for a bounce play along these support lines. A break of $3 and 310 will start getting a little bit of volume. Break of 325 would probably start taking the mob back towards it, and a break of 350 would lead towards the next leg on up. 350 is where the stock came up to in pre-market this morning. That was earlier in the morning when I was in on this play. It ran up to that 350 mark, and that's where the stock started coming back on down. So again, bounce plays around 280. We can look for a re-break of $3, break of 310, watch for volume, break of 325, everyone's running back in on this play, break of 350, that's where it would have its next leg on up. So your options of buying bounce play or $3, 310 would most likely be it. If you want to, you could wait all the way to 325. That'd be a little bit late though, but it really kind of goes back and forth between TMDC and CODX. What CODX has going for it is that, the last 3 spikes, including the supernova of NNVC, have all been related to coronavirus, and that has a strict coronavirus press release. TWMC is a little bit more of our textbook, regular classic type of bounce plays or a classic type of breakouts where we just have an agreement press release on a low float stock. So it's either we're going with the hot trend, we're either going with the hot trend play and the number 1 top gainer of 159% for the coronavirus, or we're going for our textbook, which is a low float stock with a good credible press release, getting some hype. Number 2 top gainer. Now you're saying, Deck, is there anything else out there that we could possibly play? I mean, yeah. I mean, there are definitely other plays out there that we could be touching. What are those? Well, we do have some hot press releases. Make sure you guys check these out. These, all these press releases could possibly lead to some very nice drips and runs. Just like TWMC, but I do think kind of like TWMC is the grandpappy of them all, as that one's the leader of the normal press releases and the normal hype. Just like we have other stocks, guys, that do have a relativity to the coronavirus. And the coronavirus has been the best, popping reason for stocks to run over this past week. So, are there other stocks other than CODX? Yes, but CODX is the leader, right? So CODX is the leader of the coronavirus plays today. So that's what we have so far. So we basically have our textbook plays, but TWMC is kind of the leader there. And then we have our coronavirus plays, but CODX is kind of the leader there. This is where the two, this is where traders are going to be looking at the start. Just right here, CODX and TWMC. If TWMC starts fading on off and CODX starts fading on off, I'm sure something else could start popping on off. But this is where everyone's going to look for at the start, at least. All right. So let's start diving in on this, and let's start setting up a morning poll saying which play is going to be better today. So let's go with what stock will do better this morning. Is it going to be the number one top gainer, CODX, going with the coronavirus, the hot trend, the stock that I was able to make $458 on this morning? Again, that was right when I woke up, 7 a.m. to 7:16. You see in the bottom right-hand corner, 458 bucks. You can see it right here as well if you want a different view. Is that one going to be the best mover? Is that one going to be the most consistent? Or is it going to be our textbook play? Low float stock with agreement press release. This stock has some good hype, has some good attention. It did already just get a little bit of a bounce off that 480-ish mark, 485-ish mark. If anyone got in, amazing job and awesome work. So again, that was a possibility just for that bounce play. TWMC, is this one going to be able to continue to move on up and bring in the hype? So what stock will do better this morning? Everyone go ahead, cast your vote. So everybody go vote if you guys have not yet. We'll see where the hype is heading, where the volume's going to be looking at. I'm also just going to post this little part of the morning newsletter. Now, everyone, again, has the morning newsletter, but I just want to post this in chat in case some reason you're not by your email or something. This is, basically just a good watch list to have as, some of the top gainers today and some of the best plays to be looking at. So I'll give you guys about a minute and a half here. We're going to get all ready to kick off this brand new day, coming down to the end of the week. Very exciting stuff, guys. And this week has been, absolutely awesome so far. So this has been an awesome week with a lot of excitement, a lot of hype, and, just a lot of momentum. We also saw our first supernova of 2020, which was NNVC. So, that was great. All right, let's see what you guys are thinking. I'm going to switch out our scanners real quick. And if you guys have not casted your vote, you have 10 seconds to cast that vote before, again, we show these results. So everyone cast it if you guys have not in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Share the results. Stop the poll. Wow, guys. Wow. All right. That's what you guys have to do today. So we have, an exact 50-50 split right now. So Right here, we usually have a clear-cut winner. We usually have a clear-cut winner in going off this morning poll. And right here, out of the 360 votes we had, it was split exactly down the middle. So that just, again, what do we always do? We do this, this poll to basically have a small scale, right, on what traders are going to be looking at. Now, seeing that half of you guys like CODX and half of you guys like TWMC, it's, again, split down the middle, probably out in the world on where the hype and where that activity is going to be going. I would say, most likely, guys, if you want my opinion behind it, I would probably say the stock that you would want to be focusing on more at the bell would be TWMC, just because TWMC is near highs. And since CODX is not near highs, it's probably going to have less volume. So I would probably say TWMC is something you want to watch a little bit better, or a little bit more at the bell, just because it is near highs, just because this one is a little bit more recent. Okay? So just because this one's a little bit more recent, I would say, keep this one on high watch and keep this one on high alert. Someone actually just did a pretty good sell order, just dropped it from 540 down to 480. So right now, this one that's all the way back down towards around this 480-ish mark. And, kind of split right down the middle right here. Jay Letts, 6810, what broker would you recommend for someone like me with $1,000 to trade but wants to day trade? You have a couple different options. You can either A, go right to TD Ameritrade or E-Trade and, be underneath the PDT rule. You can trade about 3 times throughout the week. Or you can use a cash account, which, isn't always a good option. You can look into those. We have lessons on that between the cash accounts and margin accounts. You can also use an international broker, such as we used to always say Sure Trader, but Sure Trader is no longer there. You can look at Trade Zero or Stock Trade or Alliance Trader. These are all international brokers that don't have PDT rules, so you could definitely look over there as well. Or again, $1,000 is a little bit light, and I want to make sure you can play all the stocks that you really want to play. You can paper trade for a few months, learn the strategy, learn the proper way to trade, grow your account maybe towards around 2,000, 2,300, and then again, start trading with a little bit more of cash that'll make being able to grow your account a little bit easier as well. Yeah, CMEG. All right, guys, market opens up in about 15 seconds. We know, again, bounce plays are down towards around 580. CODX getting a little bit weaker. Let's see what we have today, team. I'm getting this out of the way, and we should be all set, ready to rock and roll. TWMC, first bounce play again would be around 480 to 475 right here. Market is now live. Market is now live on TWMC. This would be, again, the bounce play area. Kind of opening up right here. And now it's starting to spike. So again, look at that. TWMC right out of the gates. From that 470, 480, another bounce play right out of the gates. Good job if you guys got in on that play. Again, could have gotten in on pre-market or again right when that stock when that day opened on up. 475 straight on up towards around that 550 mark. And this is definitely where a lot of the volume is looking at the start here. Now, CODX is starting to get a little bit of a fade, not really where the hype's at. Everyone's going over to TWMC. $1.20 spike so far. TWMC, $6 resistance, starting to break that down. If this one starts breaking probably through 625, that's when it's going to get halted. The stock is not going to bounce again off 585. Most likely, the stock is going to start bouncing at its old pre-market highs, which is right around this like 560-ish area. That's going to be where the next bounce play is. 560 with bottom support back down towards around 550. So you can look for a bounce play throughout that area. But again, great job, great rip, great run so far. And again, awesome work if anyone got in on that bounce play right at the bell. So, that has been huge. TWMC now still continuing to push. If you're saying, Deck, why is the stock running so hard? It's less than 1 million in float. So, we've been looking at, of course, the top plays to be focusing on right at the bell. Well, TWMC has just gone on a $2 spike so far, now hitting highs all the way up towards around 739. This is one that is a little bit momentum based. As long as traders keep on pushing this play on up, it's going to keep on running. It has not had any sort of significant pullback yet. It does have a 30-cent spread. So that's the scary thing about it. It's tough to get in because you just have to kind of market order in and have momentum keep pushing you by. And there it goes all the way up towards around the 760 or 779 now. New high of the day, continuing to climb. All traders are saying, hey, CODX is starting to fade on off. I want to get in on this play. TWMC all the way up towards 865 so far. $4 spike, now all the way up to 889. 2 minutes in on the day, 4 minutes on a climb so far. Awesome move, amazing pop, huge squeeze right at the start of the day. So TWMC looks like it's about to get halted pretty soon because we are about to break $9. What a squeeze to kick off this day at the bell. And TWMC is bringing in loads of hype. Now a new high of the day all the way up towards 938. Guys, get me a drink of water. Get me laying down in my bed because I think I'm about to pass out. All right, TWMC new high of the day all the way up towards 972. $10 is the next resistance line. So again, $10 is the next resistance line, not halted yet. This has been all momentum based. All momentum based. Stock opened on up. Shorters got squeezed out of this play. It ran all the way on up towards those highs of 970. And now we are having our pullback as people are running and getting out as we just hit that $10 target. As you guys know, traders love to look for those $5 increments. Traders love to push stocks from $3 to $5, from $7 to $10, from $12 to $15. Where did we just run up towards our high? TWMC just shy of that $10 mark, upwards around 975. That's why we're having a pullback. The crazy thing is, as fast as this stock runs is as fast as this stock can fall. So you need to be careful on it. So what a crazy start to this day. 3 minutes in, massive move. And again, what an insane play so far to be able to see this thing just take on off and go on, this climb to the heavens, right? It's just huge right there. So we got to see where this play is going to try to hold up at. As of now, if you guys got in, did anyone get in at around that 575, 580 mark that we were talking about? 575, 580 for the bounce, where it opened up at? That would be congratulations. And congratulations for everyone who just jumped in and pulled the trigger on this play. This is why I'm starting my large account around this time. I know we get big time spikes. I know we get big time volume. When you're saying Deck, you're starting your $100,000 account in about a week and a half. There's a reason why behind this. I know, again, as we start kind of moving into 2020, this is when we start seeing some of the biggest rips, biggest climbs, and biggest activity. Jumping in with a $100,000 account right here, this could be massive, massive gains. Right now, we have found some sort of support at 730-ish or 750-ish. We have a little bit of that support right around that 750-ish mark and that 760. So these are our two lines of support. That would be, again, your next opportunity for a little bit of a bounce, and that's back down towards around that 750-ish area. Again, amazing job, guys. What do we have, profit-wise? What do we have profit-wise? I got to check over the profits chat. AK-47, $4,600. Deej, $800. Crazy like $653. Jay Sniggle, $1,500. Coin flip, $230. And I know we're just starting off. So again, amazing, amazing job so far on this play. We are seeing, massive, massive runs. Scotty, $128. Jeff, $106. JB Trader, $1,200. Taylor Trader, $2,100. You guys are absolute beasts right now. What an insane, insane start to this day. And just it's all about, of course, planning, right? Planning and being aware of what plays have some of the best potential right now. Notice CODX traders gave up on that one. CODX dumped, and everybody, I think every single person that was trading this morning just came flying over to TWMC. Came flying over to TWMC and said, "Hey, if let's get this one going." I think every single person, the moment they saw CODX, drop, everyone went over to TWMC, and those were our only two options this morning because those were the top two best gainers. So, what a huge way to kick off our Thursday right here. I can't even do it. Ow! There we go, baby. I get so fired up. I get so fired up for you guys because, it's just awesome, awesome money. Now, look at it. We did have a bounce play. We're at right off that, 740-ish mark right here. So a little bounce play. Again, resistance is all the way back up to 975. Now, I'm not going to say probably it's going to run all the way back up to 975. You're going to have resistance where? 875. There's going to be a lot of 875 resistance. Now, why 875? Can anyone tell me? 875, as you guys know, is that super strong area, that area where it's going to be holding on up. 875 is not that normal number, right? We have lessons on 875 because we know 875 is more than just a normal number. We know 875 is going to be a very strong resistance line, and when it does break through 875, that's usually where we get, continuation. So I think at this time it's going to definitely be battling 875 for a bit, consolidate, and then probably try to get a breakout after that. So notice like right now, even with how jumpy it is, it's still surrounding that like 875 mark. 850, 890, 860, $9, 870, 890, 850, 870. So, it's really jumpy around this mark right here around 875 as traders are trying to push it in, a direction or a different direction. So right now you could see 875 is where again the big trade is so far. And that's where the stock's starting to come back on down. Move your if this stock comes back on down, look for a bounce a little bit lower. Probably like 720ish now. Probably like 720ish, I would probably say. So I'll even bounce. I'm thinking more towards around that like 720ish area. You know, here 7. I mean, just because I think you're going to see it come back on down because it just tried to test and it didn't happen. Just try to test so and it didn't happen. So I think we're gonna have a nice little pullback coming on up in the next few minutes, where again we can look for a possible bounce back on back down low for the stock to be able to move back on up. But we want to see a nice little drop here. Want to see a nice little drop. Turn off pre-market. Turn off pre-market, and we can see where these lower shadows are. We can also, always a great indicator, is put on the VWAP. VWAP right now is all the way up towards around that like 818 mark. NNVC keeps trying to move on up. That stock did have an offering yesterday, so be careful on that. I know that stock is slowly making some new highs. Yeah, I get it. Hey, Zilja fan saying, green is green. I made money, but my limit order blew through so fast, could have made $800 or so. Yeah, I mean, TWMC, a stock, a low float stock with that much volume and a spread towards it. I mean, right now it still has a spread. Right now it still has like an 18-cent spread. So that means usually every order that goes through, what happens? The stock will have either like an 18-cent basically gain. So you notice the stock's going from 847 to 834 to 837 right here, 835. Right, you see the bids at 835, and then people are selling at 846. Like we have a 11-cent spread right now. I'm going to put NNVC on the bottom level too. It's going to have some resistance. NNVC, a little bit of resistance at around $5. This did have an offering trying to move on up. This one ran off the coronavirus. NNVC is trying to get a little bit of hype right now. So NNVC did have an offering. The stock did spike $10 on Wednesday. This one's just trying to get a little bit of a pump behind it right now as traders are trying to get this play going. Now, it did just go on about a dollar climb right here, and I'm putting that on the bottom level too, so you're aware of it. If people start running over to NNVC, TWMC probably will drop, and you can get another bounce play probably back down towards around that 715 mark. NNVC, this is no longer a low float play, but a lot of people are buying in on this play, going for a little bit of that dead cat bounce type of move. But again, it did have an offering towards this stock, which collapsed it. So, it's not a very easy one to trust. Look what this play did, right? This play went from $3 to 13.50, and then they came out with an offering, which dropped it back down to $3. And now traders are trying to push this on up a little bit because they're saying, oh, let's go play the stock that ran $10 the other day. Right? So again, be careful on that one. I'm not saying you can't make money on it, but just be careful. It's a little bit of a sketchy play. So TWMC, yes, this is where the volume's at. This is where the activity's at. Watch the 875 break. Most important thing. Watch the bids here, guys. You need to get above 875. Now, you may get a couple orders, but if the bids do not get above 875, this stock is not going anywhere. Notice the stock price is at 889, 890, right? That's awesome. But look where the bids are. What are the bids? The bids is where people are willing to buy. The bids is where people are willing to purchase those share price. The stock could be all the way up at 920, but if people are not willing to buy and the bids are at 860, 850, that's below 875. So 875, if you can't get above that on the bids, well then again the stock's not going to be moving on up. What is the stock worth? And you might say, oh, Deck, well the stock's worth the current price, at 850. No, it's not worth 850. It's worth what the next order is. It's worth what someone is willing to buy it at. A stock is like a fine piece of art, right? Stock is a fine piece of art. It's not, again, it's what someone is willing to purchase that stock at. If someone has a price to sell their shares at, let's say, $12, it doesn't mean TWMC is worth $12. It's worth what someone's willing to buy it at. And every single time so far, we haven't been able to break 875. Bounce play possibly coming on up at around 715. Bounce play possibly coming on up on TWMC. Right here again, watch that possible bounce down low. NNVC again, you got a little bit of pop, small little bull flag. GNPX had an offering this morning. So be careful over there. I would honestly say TWMC, keep this one on watch. That bounce play off that 715-ish mark. So just looking over everything. So TWMC still trying to move on up. A little bit of NNVC, got that quick little spike starting to drop on off. GMPX had an offering. I would still probably say look for that bounce play. That's still the kind of the best thing I'd be looking at. Right here again, keeping our eyes peeled, seeing what's going to be coming on up on this stock. So what a crazy start. We're only 20 minutes in. I just want to see if TWMC is going to be able to get that drop back down towards around that 715-ish mark. Yep, again, I'm talking sometimes sometimes I just again, kind of read an article and I just can't talk and read at the same time. So I apologize. But yeah, I'm always talking, guys. But yeah, I'm just trying to read an article on TWMC, so I had to stop talking for the moment. So right now, still watching TWMC. Watch that possible drop right here. I'm gonna put a 1,000 share limit order, probably right down towards around that, seven. Actually, probably do like 715 and then 720, something along those lines. Just because I want to see if I can get that nice little bounce play. So I am looking for that bounce play on TWMC. If that stock can drop. NNVC not doing too much. CODX is like done. Look at CODX today. CODX, I mean, this stock was great in pre-market, and as I already showed guys, this was one that was awesome. If you guys weren't here, I made $458 today already. So I'm already up $458 on the day, and my P&L is over on Twitter. It's over on Profits Chat. Make sure you guys go watch that. But that was my stock that I traded today, and that was over on CODX right when I woke up. So I traded this stock in pre-market as it had a morning spike. Right now, TWMC is where you want to look at, and for my next trade, I'm looking for that 710 to 715 bounce. So that's the number one thing I'm looking at right here. NNVC, I don't really want you guys getting in on that play just because I think it was more along the lines of a pump and because that stock had an offering. Same exact thing with like GMPX. GMPX dropped off so big because it had an offering behind it. TWMC, if you're saying, all right, Deck, I'm not really a huge fan of the bounce down low. Where else can I get in on this play? You can also get in when you see the bids above 875. Like testing right now, let's see. It's looking for its next leg up. It's looking for its next leg up, but it all comes down to the bids here. Right? It all comes down, okay, look at bids are starting to move a little bit. Still fighting, stay above 875. Oh, see, look at 875 every single time. It breaks it for a moment. It's got to stay above 875 here. And back down to 860, back down to 850. Needs to hold 875. And if it can't, that's where it's going to be trouble. So right now it's 863. We're having quick little breaks, but then people get nervous and sell it off. So we're getting quick little breaks, and then people get nervous and sell it off. So let's continue to keep that on watch. It all comes down to that 875 break. Let's see again. We're at 861, 856. All things we got to continue to watch. 855. Just change. If you're saying, how do I turn off pre-market? You're probably on EXT. Just go to day. You'll be all set, ready to rock and roll to trade. Right now, the bid's at 861, 855. And I'm also going to post this lesson because I know I've been talking about 875 a lot. And if you're like, oh, wow, Deck, 875 is holding up really tough. I just came up with this thing. It's called the 875 rule. So it's called the 875 rule, and I'm going to post this lesson for you guys right here. So again, you guys can go ahead and check it out. So here is 875 rule lesson. So if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about with this 875, make sure, again, you guys go check this out right here. Here comes the bids back up to 870, 871. It's trying 866, even though the stock's at 880. The bids are at 866. They're still scared to push 875. The bids are still scared to push 875 right now. These bids get above that 870, and look at that. Now the stock turns and drops. Look at that, turns and drops. And this is how we can predict stocks in the stock market because we want to make sure that we get above our resistance lines. Right there it is. Right, we saw that this play wasn't holding that 875 mark, and when it can't, that's where it comes back down. And it's as simple as just knowing a certain line. It's as simple as just knowing a certain resistance line that you say, hey, if we don't get don't break this, pretty soon traders are going to get fed up. Pretty soon traders are going to get fed up, and it's going to probably consolidate back down to $8 and then try again. And then once it tries again, it's going to say, hey, you know what? If we can't do it, then that's when we're going to fall even lower. So if I'm going to pull the trigger on TWMC, buying it on 875 seems like a pretty risky area. Now, if I can time the breakout perfectly, then yeah, it would be awesome. If I could time that breakout perfectly, that would be awesome for a big time rip and a big time run, and maybe it runs back up to $10 plus. But if I can't time the breakout perfectly, I know it's probably going to have a violent drop, probably somewhere back down to 820 to 810. And if I have, let's say, 1,000 shares or so, I'm going to be losing probably around $600 to $700 within a couple seconds right here because of how big the drop is when we can't break through that 875 mark. So right now, TWMC, we're still, watching this play. And I'm still going to see if we get that good old bounce all the way back on down. Where's the VWAP on TWMC? This is up 248%. We are considered on the bearish side of this play right now. So let's see if this is going to hold. Still the number one play, and I think the next opportunity that you guys have, is going to be at that bounce play. Now, is there anything else that we could be looking at? Is there anything else that has potential? Is there anything else that could take on off? TWMC, we already have the game plan for it. CODX needs to re-break the VWAP. So if CODX could re-break the VWAP, that's when that stock could start taking on off, and that's where that stock could start really getting that nice momentum. INNT, that stock is kind of looking like CODX, like it's just been fading and trying to U-shape a little bit. INNT still fading on off. NNVC, that stock had an off rate. So you got to be very, very careful on NNVC. It's trying to get a little bit of love. It's up 42%. But look at the big difference. Look at the main difference right here. We have TWMC up 252%. Then we have CODX up 100%, but that's fading. And then we jump all the way down to 43, 41, 35, 35. Where do you think, traders in the penny stock are looking? Right here on the 253% gainer. Right? That's where traders are looking. That's where traders are focused on. That's where everyone's, getting on top of right here. So make sure that you guys are, staying on top of that and getting ready to rock and roll on this play. So TWMC, I'm just kind of waiting for that crack at this time. Now, little side note, guys, as you obviously know, we have the $100,000 challenge coming on up. And I put out a little video last night on my Instagram and on my Facebook. We just again posted this over on our YouTube page for the full video. If you guys did not check it out, please go do that. And also, if you guys could take a second out of your day and just give this video a thumbs up, it helps support the channel and also for the YouTube algorithm. So if you guys are excited about the $100,000 challenge, if you guys are excited to make some money, if you guys already made some money today, if you guys enjoy and support us, please again click that video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So that's information for the $100,000 account coming on up. Make sure you guys go check that out. Absolutely awesome, super fired up, and it's going to be so great. And we're coming in hard. We're about a week and a half away until then, and right now the market is in primed, perfect conditions. So I just posted that link right there so you guys can go ahead and check it out. And if you guys have any questions about the $100,000 account, please let me know. And your questions may be answered right in that video right there, as that's going to be giving a lot of great information. Thank you, Dr. Kellogg. Appreciate that. Rapid, I don't even, what number are we looking at here? If it's that $101,000 mark, I don't know what I'm going to say to you, buddy. You are just an insane man. So, I mean, absolutely, absolutely insane what we're seeing. Hold on one second. Little sign up, guys. TWMC starting to come back on down. TWMC starting to come on down. Right now, TWMC actually crashing pretty low right here. I did just get filled on 1,000 shares down to 710. I did just get filled on 1,000 shares at 710. Little heads up for you guys. I don't want to, not tell you anything. I did just get filled 1,000 shares at 710. I'm going to give this a moment to see if it can battle back on up. I'm going to I'm going to sell the stock if I see anything above 725. But I am in on 1,000 shares at 710 right now on TWMC. Okay? So again, holding this play, back in the green right now, which is a great, sign. But I had a limit order right there, as I was telling you guys, at that 710 mark, battling its way back on up. Nice, up towards 720, 724, 735. Let's see if it gets it push up towards a little bit higher. See the bids go up a little bit higher. That would be nice. But right now, again, a little bit jumpy, but I think, again, right at this bounce play is exactly what we wanted. Got a little bit of the lower shadow so far. I want to see the bids push a little bit. Bids push a little bit higher on up. So close. Bids are right there. I want to see the bids up towards around the 730 mark. I am in on the stock. Again, I am live at 710. It did drop for a moment, but I'm like, hey, this should hold on up. So again, really just want to focus right here on this play and just want to be ready. I'm out. Got to cut out. Cutting out of this play. Gave it a second, but I'm just cutting out. Cutting out to $260 loss. So I'm cutting out $260 loss I had to take just because I gave it that second. The stock popped up for a moment, and I'm sure it will pop back on up. But again, I am 100% out. I just can't risk it dumping on me. Now, this play, if I kept holding right here, this play is still a play that, is still good as it's holding that $7 mark, but I can't risk it, possibly dumping on me right now. And then the last thing I want to do is give back my $500 in profit. So, right now I'm still up $240 on the day. I just don't want to be caught up and lose all my gains and be in the red. But I definitely do think it's going to bounce. But you know what? I got to stick to my game plan. That's how I'm able to stay consistent in the stock market. So how am I able to stay consistent in the stock market? I follow my game plan. And you know what happens? A lot of times people adjust their game plan while in a stock because they get emotional and say, well, maybe it'll come back on up. Maybe that stock is going to, be the play I want. Now, we had a great bounce so far from $7, and we saw highs up towards around that 730, 740, but the bids were never up that high. The bids were at like 726, which was great. And I had that one opportunity to get out. I was really close to pulling the trigger to get out, but I did not. And then it came right back down to 710. Now, if you're saying, Deck, if I'm in on this play, can I keep on holding? I still think you have a lot of potential. But as I said, I'm already up $500 on the day. I'm not willing to give that all back. I did take a loss there, but I'm still up $250. And I got to stick to my game plan because last thing I ever want is this thing to crash and me to get caught up into it. So the thing is, as well, where am I buying the stock? Am I buying the stock at 875? No, I'm buying the stock at a bottom. I'm buying the stock as the stock just fell from 970 down towards $7. I'm buying these stocks at a low. So I'm not again hopping in on these plays and buying them at the top hoping they move on up. I'm buying in at the lowest possible area for risk. And that's how I manage so much risk versus reward, right? So TWMC, a loss right there, 100%. But my other trade was green, so I'm still up 242 dollars on the day, the exact price. Yeah, it seems like a little bit stronger support is actually right here towards around this like 680-ish mark. So it seems like a little bit stronger support is more towards around the 680-ish mark. That's where it seems like more support's at than that 715-ish area. Thank you, Josh Smith, for the comment on the YouTube video. I appreciate it. So 1 for 2 on the day for myself. 1 for 2 on the day for myself so far. My big win was on CODX in pre-market, and then that was right here when I woke up at 7 a.m. And then my loss was on TWMC right here, looking for the bounce play at 710, and the stock fell down towards around that 680 mark, and that's where I had to get out. So right along those areas, still holding right here, just what, 15 cents off? Let me see this. I want to look at the chart. Why would it bounce right here? Let me see what we got. That was more. I was looking at. If you're saying deck, why'd you pick 710? I was looking at this lower shadow right here. So if you're saying deck, what were you looking at? I was looking. See that lower shadow? See that lower shadow? That's where I was looking for the bounce, and that's usually where these stocks bounce at. You know where the old lower shadow is. We also have the other lower shadow to the tall green candle right there. So we have this tall green candle lower shadow. We also have this lower shadow right here, which is right along 715, and then this lower shadow right here, which is around 728. Now, I expected the stock to be very jumpy, right? I expected the stock to be very jumpy, so that's why I went even a little bit lower in case we had a lower shadow, but I was not expecting a lower shadow all the way down towards around 670. Now the stock again did get that quick bounce on up, and I was down at I was down at around that 660, 670 mark for a moment, right? And I was like, oh, whoa, this is about a $500 loss right now. The stock did bounce all the way back up towards around 730, and right now, again, it's still fighting that $7 mark. But the reason I went for the bounce at around 710, 715, just want to back up my credibility, is that this is where the stock had its lower shadow, and it's also right next to the long green candle lower shadow. Also a pullback from $9 all the way down towards around $7 seems like a very nice, healthy pullback. Had a $2 drop. It also cracked the VWAP and came back on down. I'm expecting, again, that $7 bounce, and I'm probably going to go after that $7 bounce 10 out of 10 times. Now, do I think TWMC, and in all honesty, do I think it's going to probably pop back on up? I do, but you never know, and I have to stick to my game plan. Obviously, I want you guys to take a lot of lessons from me. I want you guys to learn my strategy. I want you guys to learn how I find plays in pre-market, why I enter plays, 2-to-1 ratio, risk versus reward, 875 rule, all that good stuff. But one of the biggest things I want you guys to learn from me is, one, how to stay disciplined and follow your trading plan, and number two, to be able to follow, I was going to say, number one, to stay disciplined and have a trading plan. And number two, how to handle your losses without becoming super emotional, not bringing emotions into your trading. So, going into one, how to stay disciplined in your trading plan. Yes, I could sit here and I can say to myself, all right, this play came on down and it came down to the point where I said I was going to get out before I got in on the stock. I said I was going to get out if this play started going down towards around that 685 mark. Why is that? Because that's going to be a smart area to get out of this play, because if ever went any lower, I'd be giving back gains for the day that I made earlier, right? So I have to stick to that game plan. Your mind may start making up some excuses while you're actually in on that play and you see it down that low. Well, Deck, it's a jumpy stock. Well, you see how fast it just came down? It should pop back on up. Well, again, give it a few more minutes here. You could definitely make some more money. Or, right, I could say that. Or I could say to myself, no, you know what? You had this game plan, because if it does keep going on down, you're only going to kick yourself and get more emotional. Now, again, I stuck to my game plan. I got out. I'm done with that play. And now I can see the stock is even lower at 656. It was a smart move to get out with my play, rip the Band-Aid off, and move on. Am I happy that I, again, jumped in on this play for the bounce? Absolutely. I didn't buy the stock when it was at 9.75. I waited for a $2.75 fall to me to get in at a predictable area. I got in on an area where my risk was much lower and my reward was much higher. So am I happy, of course, with my bounce? 100% I'm happy with my bounce. Would I play that bounce again? 100%. Am I happy I stuck with my game plan? 100%. I feel proud of that. What I'm not happy about is, of course, the way the trade worked out. But that sometimes happens in the stock market, and you can't let it affect you, and you can't let it carry over to your other trade. I did everything right that I could do right. It just didn't work out the way the way I 100% intended. But the great thing is, I'm not being emotional and saying, well, maybe he'll come back up. Maybe he'll come back up because you know what? Now it'd be in the red on the day. I'm 1 for 2 on the day, still up $235 on the day. I won earlier, lost right here. And you know what? I would be down in the red, losing my whole entire $458 gain. I would be in the red, losing even more money from my account right now if I continue to hold just to hope with emotions. So stay bucks, your next trade you'll win 300. And if your next trade you can win 400. And then if you lose on a $100 loss and another $100 loss and another $100 loss, all right, win a $300 gain and you'll make it all back in one. And that's the thing about actually sticking to your game plan. We've talked about our 2-to-1 ratio. We've talked about cutting losses quick because the quicker you cut losses, the easier it is to make them back. And you're not going to win every single trade you hop in. That's just a fact. You're not going to hop in at every single trade. Today I'm 50%. But again, my win is much bigger than my loss, so I'm still walking away a winner. So stick to that and understand that, right? Discipline, stick to your trading plan, and do not be emotional. It's not a game of hope. It's a game of skill. It's not a game of luck. It's a game of strategy. So right now, TWMC starting to give a lot back. No entry whatsoever at all right here. Try to break back above that $7 mark. Nothing there for us right here. So yeah, of course, no back holding, 100%. All right. Also, little side note: if you guys do not know, there was an announcement yesterday. If you guys have not checked it out, one of our new streamers is starting on up in about the first week and a half of February. And you're saying, Deck, who? I didn't even realize who. He goes by the name of John Papa, aka Sublime Trades. You guys can check him out over on Twitter. He said, all right, guys, here it is. Starting next month, I'll be live streaming on Tradecaster. I'll be sharing my screen, giving live commentary, and interacting with everyone in chat. I'm targeting February 10th to start streaming. So John Papa is going to be able to start streaming on Tradecaster. You guys will have access to his live stream, his chat, everything that you guys have access now, you'll have access to him as well. So he's going to be day trading and doing some options every single morning when you guys log in. It'll be my lobby and his lobby, and you guys are more than welcome to jump back and forth and be able to watch whoever you guys want. On top of that, there's going to be some other people that are going to be jumping on as well, and you guys will have access to my chat, his chat, their chat, another person's chat. We have a Forex trader that's going to be trading coming on up. So there's a Forex trader coming on up, and there's also an options trader that's going to be making an announcement as well pretty soon. So John Papa, if you guys know him, he's a great trader, but puts all his P&Ls out and everything along those lines. So make sure you guys go out and check out some of his stuff, and he'll be live streaming on Tradecaster, which you guys will have access to. You guys do not need to pay. That's all underneath your membership, so you guys are all set. So we are all good, ready to rock. So really exciting, and he is not like kind of like an original member from chat. He's a person that he has kind of his own thing going, and he's just going to be live streaming on Tradecaster. But you guys are more than welcome to check out his live stream and be able to hop in on there. So yeah, so super happy about that. He's going to start live streaming really soon. And then, yep, we're also going. John, usually does day trading and Things that I do, a little bit of slower plays though sometimes. So he may do a little bit of a slower play. I like a little bit more heat. I like to get a little more enthusiasm. I like to get a little bit up and dancing, as you guys know. He does a little bit more slower type of plays. And then on top of that, yeah, we also have a forex trader that's going to be working, and also a couple option traders. So a lot of good stuff, and you guys have access to everyone's stream. And that's going to be starting up in about a week and a half. So, we got a lot of cool stuff coming on up, right? We got the $100,000 account. John Pop is going to start streaming, and it's going to be, just a really great time. So, a lot of fun stuff in the near future. Right now, I'm just kind of looking over. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. And I will be more than happy to help you guys out with, of course, anything that you need at all. Yeah, but I'm happy you guys, enjoy that so much. He's a pretty popular trader over on Twitter, so you guys can, of course, check him out. Pretty popular guy over there. So he's going to be an awesome addition to this community and, to Tradecaster. So 10-13 right now. Let's go through our top gainers and let's see what we have today, team. So 10-13 at this moment. Top gainers. Let's see what we have. Everyone look at the live stream and let's go through these. So number one, TWMC. Is TWMC a play we want to get involved with today? Is TWMC a stock that we want to be trading? As of now, we probably don't want to be touching it. Could you say, Deck, you know what? I am waiting for that. I'm waiting for a bounce. I notice right now that TWMC has been falling a lot. It seems like it's finally consolidating a little bit around 640. Do you think I can look for a bounce there? I definitely enjoy the thought process, and I definitely think, hey, if you have the funds and you have a game plan, you can definitely look for maybe a small bounce from 640, maybe for another run up to $7 plus. The stock did fall from almost $10. I do expect in the future some sort of like dollar slow move up, right? From maybe 640 to $7, maybe $7 to $8, maybe back up towards the VWAP area. Like the VWAP's all the way up at 775. I wouldn't be surprised that at some point throughout the day, we get all the way back up towards around that 775 mark, right? So I think that's going to be absolutely awesome. And I think that's going to be absolutely great. And we can definitely keep our eyes peeled over on TWMC. So we could still watch that. And if you're looking for that possible bounce, kind of the lowest area I see right now is back down towards around this like 625-ish area. So 625 would kind of be the best area, maybe a little bit lower, but that is still the number one top gainer with a 191% climb. After that, CODX. Right after that, CODX is starting to fade off a little bit. This stock is starting to get a little bit lighter. This stock is starting to, lose volume. And CODX was our play this morning that everyone was looking at. Everyone wanted a piece of CODX at the start of pre-market, right? This was the trade that I was able to hop on to be able to make my gain, and that was on this morning climb. But since around 7:30 in the morning, unfortunately, CODX hasn't really done too much, and it really has just faded on off. So do we really want to get on CODX right now? It's below the VWAP. It's fading. The stock hasn't had any buyers at the start of the day or anything. So I really wouldn't be touching TWMC. There's not really a reason to, right? After that, what do we have? NNVC. NNVC, this stock right here, this had an offering 2 days ago. Now, we are going to do a quick lesson. Offerings aren't going to take that long on offerings. I just want to make sure everyone has a full understanding. I know I explained it probably 2 or 3 times already, but let's just go into a quick little Dekmar trades lesson coming on up, and we're going to go into a quick little offering lesson. But NNVC, I would again only play the stock if it starts getting a little bit of honestly, if it starts getting a little pump towards it. That's like the only way I would play it, just for a quick little in and out play. That's all I would do. because since it had an offering, it's most likely not going to be able to hold a spike. If anything, I'm just running if momentum goes back in on that play for a quick moment. Hop in 1,000 shares, make 15 cents, $150, and get out. That would be kind of it for me. INNT, kind of the same exact thing as CODX, just not worth it, right? INNT, CODX, just not really worth it, kind of the same exact thing. And then we're just kind of getting to like these low volume type of plays that really haven't done anything or not really worth our time. So the number one top gainer of the day, TWMC, is where all eyes, all traders, and where every single person was looking at. TWMC is trying to hold up 625 support. Eventually, we're looking for this thing to run back up to the VWAP. You could look for a 625 hold. Have a game plan, though. If it goes below 610, get out. Give yourself 15 cents on a risk for the possibility of 625 back up to $7 plus. That's good risk versus reward, right? So if we look right here, just a little heads up. If we look right here on TWMC, we could see we have around 620, 625 support. So if I hop in at $6, I'm speaking in your perspective. If I hop in at 625, I'll give this a 15-cent area to be able to profit. Bounce off $6, maybe, or 625, maybe it goes down to 618, maybe around 615, but it should be able to hold those areas. If it doesn't, I get out. All right, you know what? Maybe I have 1,000 shares. I lose a total of what? Maybe $200 at the most, $150 most likely, for the possibility of what? For the possibility of this stock to go to $7 plus, all the way up to $7.75 where the VWAP is. So you're risking maybe 15 cents to possibly make $1.50. So you're risking $150 to win maybe $1,500. That's great risk versus reward because your risk is so minuscule on what you can win. And you know what? It's a good plan. It's not a bad plan whatsoever. And that's how every single trade should be. Every single trade should be, I am going to get in on this play, limit my risk by having some sort of stop loss. And then if the stock runs on up, I have a lot of room to run. Just like when I'm looking to get in on this play at 710, what did I do? I have a stop loss about 20 cents down for the possibility of this stock to go from 710 up to the VWAP at that time, upwards around like 810. So I'm risking about $200 to win about $1,000. Great risk versus reward. I don't ever want to play a stock at like 875 right there. Remember 875 on how much that was hitting? And 875, why don't I ever want to play the stock there? Because my risk versus reward is a coin flip. And we know that. We may not want to admit it, but buying at 875, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. This stock may be able to break out and spike back up to 975, or this stock is going to dump really hard on me and I'm going to lose a lot of money. It's a 50-50 on either A, I'm going to win a ton, or B, I'm going to lose a ton. And you know what? I am not here for 50-50s. I am not here for my whole entire salary to be on a coin flip, to be on a red or black, to be on an up and down move. I need to do high risk or high reward, high reward, low risk plays over and over and over and over again. Right? I always hate when people say, "Oh, stock trading is like a casino." Right? And because we can make it a casino if we want to. We can do plays that are 50-50s. We can do plays where we only have a 30% chance of winning and the house has, a 70% chance of winning. But I always say, if you want to think about a casino, be the house. Make the odds always in your favor. So what happens if, when someone sits down and plays blackjack? When someone sits down and plays blackjack, they may win a couple of hands. And there may be a point of the night that they are going to be up in profit. But the longer you play, the worse chance and the lower percentages you have of winning. Because the longer you play, the odds go over to the house. And that could just be a very little bit. But how does a casino stay in business? They always make sure the odds are in their favor. And if the odds are in their favor, it doesn't matter. Over time, they're going to make more money than they lose. Are they going to have to pay out someone every now and then? Are they going to have to pay money out to people every single now and then? Yes, but there's going to be more people losing in a casino than there are winning. Now let's reverse that and put that as a stock trader. As a stock trader, yes, I may take a loss every now and then. That's a fact. But if I always make sure on every single trade that I have more reward than risk, over time, my account is always going to be bigger than it is, where it's at right now. I'm going to win a lot more than I lose if I always make sure my reward is higher than my risk. Look at this, TWMC getting that bounce right now. The big money making play of the day, which again I got to check out real quick, was just right at the bell. Right? The big money making play was just right at the bell, and that's where traders just went insane. Right? So that's where traders just went insane, and that's where we saw probably our biggest profits of the day. Stock drop and roll $2,400. That was actually only like 20 minutes ago. Here were the biggest profits of the day. I mean, Top Gun, 7 minutes into the market, $7,800. Joe, $2,900, 6 minutes into the market. Stock drop and roll, yep, 6 minutes into the market, $2,400. Taylor Trader, 6 minutes into the market, $2,100. JB Trader, 6 minutes, $1,200. I mean, these were the big boys. AK-47, 5 minutes in the market, $4,600. I mean, insane amount of money. Here we have 3 minutes in the market on Jay Sniggle, TWMC, $1,500. I mean, that was just all from that explosion. That was all from that rip. That was all from that run right there. Now, if you guys are asking, Deck, what happened this morning, let's go into a little bit of a recap and we can talk about it a little bit more. Why the stock, took on off, why the stock got that big time activity, and why that stock got that big momentum. So at the start of the bell, it was really two different plays, and that was it. Two different stocks you can choose from. And what were those stocks? CODX and TWMC. And what were the reasonings why? TWMC, this play had a press release that had an agreement towards it, right? So TWMC, this had a press release that had an agreement towards it. Let's check it out right here. It says, announces a corporate agreement. And whenever we see the word agreement, we know right away, 3-star word, agreement, that's going to be bringing in some good hype and that's going to be bringing in some good momentum. So agreement's a good keyword. Also, TWMC is under 1 million in float. So and the stock was moving up in pre-market, right? So the stock started moving up in pre-market. The stock's under 1 million float, and it has good news. Number 2 top gainer. Then the other one was CODX. And CODX, this one was holding its gains throughout pre-market. CODX was also related exactly to that coronavirus. So if we look over on CODX, we can see, new tests for coronavirus, which is a huge thing in the world right now, right? So everyone started looking over to CODX, and this was up over 200% to kick off the day. At the bell, I think it was at like 150, 160, but it was up about 220 at those highs. So we had two different stocks, both up over 100%. And what happened, guys? All it is, think about it as a battle for volume, a battle for love. Okay? Imagine there's two guys, two different guys, and there's one girl, and the girl doesn't know who to choose. Well, I like this guy, and I like this guy. Well, you know what? That girl is going to break one of those guys' hearts. He's going to go with one of them. And it's like, oh, I like this guy a little bit more. He's more handsome. Oh, but this guy has more money. But I like this guy's family. Yeah, but this guy has a nice car, right? So, that girl is going to pick someone. And that the other person's going to have a broken heart. And that's the same exact thing in the stock market, where volume is going to pick one of these stocks, and the other stock is going to collapse and turn into nothing and have a broken heart and go cry. So what were the two options? The number 2 top gainers, and they were clear-cut top gainers. And how do I know it's only between these two? Is because everything else, it's still even like this a little bit. Look at TWMC is up to 222%, CODX is up 77%, and then it goes down to a different world. 34, 33, 28. Now this morning it was 160 and 140, and then it went down to like 40%. So obviously everyone's focused on the top 2 plays, because that one's up 150 and 140 and 160, right? 160, 140 are the top 2 plays, and then it goes down to like 30%. Everyone's looking at the top 2 plays right here. So when we look at that, volume's going to pick a play. And wherever the majority of volume goes, wherever the majority of traders go, the majority of buyers go, is where the stock's going to rip, and the other one's going to go home a loser. So CODX, as you can tell, dropped on off, because TWMC TWMC. Oh my gosh, Deck. TWMC went from $4 and shot on up. So notice massive green candle right here, and everyone lost over on CODX if they were over there. So CODX fell apart, and that's because TWMC started skipping away with the wife. And it's really kind of as simple as that. We don't need to make it any more complicated. Both stocks had good news. Both stocks had good reasoning. Both stocks are top gainers. But at the start of the day, people are going to choose one play to make it the top gaining play of the day, and that's where we're currently seeing it. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns on that? Anything along those lines? Definitely let me know. And it could just be that low float. All right, could just be that low float that hurt that play or that helped that play a lot. Dekmar trades think TWMC ran because of the low float. Yeah, I mean there is good news, but if that news came out on a 20 million in float stock, do you think anyone would care? Not really, right? So no one would really care if that came out on a 20 million in float stock. It's because that stock came out with that news with a low float. That's what gets traders excited. All right, so we're about an hour in so far. As you guys know, the stock market, um, as you guys know, excuse me, we start the live stream up at around 7 a.m. Pick up our commentary starting around 9 a.m. And we're pretty ready to rock and roll right here. I'm very excited to see what's going to be coming on up. But I think the best thing to do around this time would be probably about a 5 to 10 minute break. And then from there, we're going to get into an offering lesson, and then we'll see what's going to be popping off around 11 o'clock. See maybe if TWMC is going to get any sort of action. I do want to do a quick, small offering lesson. It's not going to take that long. Right now, TWMC and CODX are both kind of fading. There's not really too much moving. We can keep our eyes peeled on the high of the day momentum scanner, a little bit of LPTX here, and also a little bit of KERN. Let's just check how the markets are doing really quickly. So how the market's doing. Markets are a red today. So the markets are in the red, and that's because we have had a little bit of a gap down. So it's not like the markets are falling. It's more of the markets are in the red because we did see a gap down this morning, and they're just trying to battle their way back on up. Yesterday, we did see a brand new high of the day in the stock market. And whenever we do see a brand new high of the day in the stock market, we usually see some sort of uh, pullback. AKA someone commented on my comment on that video. Thanks for the link. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Yeah, guys, I've been working so hard on some YouTube content. One of my big kind of goals to myself, I have it written up on my wall, is to get 100,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and that's is one of my biggest goals for 2020. So I got about 85,000 subscribers to go on my YouTube channel, but I think by the end of the year I can definitely make it happen. One of the big things is just kind of stepping up everything about it. A lot of times I'm just putting like different lessons from like web recordings and stuff, but I've been went out, got a nice camera, went out, got some lighting, went out, got a nice setup and everything. So I've been probably recording hours upon hours of lessons and lectures and everything where it's me talking, and that's going to be so awesome to see. Now I just have hours and hours of editing to do coming on up, but that's kind of one of my big goals. Really step up my YouTube page over 2020. JRT Deck. what was the volume before the market opened between TWMC and CODX? Because I think you said TWMC was getting hot before the market opened. Yeah. So what I was saying, that's a good question. I'm happy you asked that. So if you're, I said, look at TWMC. TWMC started spiking at 9 o'clock. So this was really recent. So this went from 9 o'clock, and at 9:30, the stock went from 267 towards around 488. So the stock went on about a $2 spike in a 30-minute span, and that's right before the market opens. So right before the market opens, a $2 spike, even upwards around a $2.55 spike, or actually about a $3 spike on TWMC when it hit its highs at around 9:10. It went on about a $3 spike in 10 minutes, then consolidated for about 20 minutes before the market opened. Then it started taking on off. So TWMC was one that's right before the bell. Hey, this one's moving. This one's getting a hot spike. This is where, again, traders must be going to. The issue with CODX is CODX had its move at 7 o'clock in the morning, and 7:30 is when it started falling on off. So what started happening? People probably aren't as excited about a play that spiked, at 7:30, and then since, or at 7 a.m., and since 7:30, about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, since the market opened, it's not really bringing in as much excitement. So CODX was good, but notice it was just kind of fading and not really bringing any hype because it wasn't even near its highs. It wasn't hitting new highs. TWMC, it's 9 o'clock. The market opens up in 30 minutes, and this one's spiking $3. Traders start getting a lot more excited behind that. So that's kind of how also TWMC got a little bit more attention, got a little bit more hype towards it. So it's just kind of like getting the relativity, which one's more relative at the moment, which one's more hot at this time. All right, so TWMC, we're waiting to see if this is going to be able to break back above the VWAP. And we're going to take a 10-minute break. Starts right now, and we will get back with an offering lesson. So once we get back from our 10-minute break, guys, stand up, go to the bathroom, walk to the kitchen, get a quick snack, and then we'll get our offering lesson. Get a cup of coffee, but then we'll get our offering lesson in about 10 minutes. Just going over. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Some of the stuff you guys already know. And again, just want to make sure we clarify everything that's been going on. So 10-minute break starts right now, and then we will get back with an offering lesson. All right, cool, guys. So then I'll see you guys then. Awesome job. If you have any questions, type them out in chat, and right when I jump back on the mic in about 10 minutes, we'll go over everything. So 10:45. 10:45. Get back here. Offering lesson starts on up. Keep again, asking questions in chat. Happy to help every single one of you guys. No such thing as a dumb question. We all start somewhere. I'm happy to help.
All right, what's up, guys? So I'm probably gonna wrap it up here. You know, usually stop at 10:30 anyway, so I'm 8 minutes over. But I was really trying to get back into the green. Very disappointing day because I was up in these three candles here like $4,000, and then this candle here I pretty much lost all of it. And then I kept trying to get in up in the highs and selling down in the lows, and ended up down. I don't know. I think the most I was down like 5,000. And as of right now, down 2,600. I did take a paper trade, like, you know, in the first 2 minutes here, just because, you know, the first 2 minutes you cannot trade in the simulator. So with that being said, my first entry was at like 562. I did not expect it to shoot up to $9. So this entry here was 2,000 shares, and I sold 1,000 here. Then it was like 500 at the break of 7. It was like right over 710. And then I did hold 500 until, you know, it started to come back down, but I caught it at like 8 something. But and then I also took my first real trade in here, and then that was a whole mess because I canceled the order, and then it got filled, and then I was trying to, I don't know. It was all just a mess. But either way, I mean, that first trade there is probably not $2,000. But honestly, I don't know. I have to do the math. But I'll do that later. So in the simulator, down 2,600. Still waiting on this to break and stay above the VWAP. As you can see, I did get in with, I think, 6,000 shares there. Going in heavy. I've been waiting on the break of the VWAP. You know, I got in back here and then lost more money. But this one worked out for me. I just made back probably half of my losses, or at least a third of my losses on this ticker. I did take a trade on Kern, which y'all didn't see, but I took it on my other monitor, made $1,000. That was right here. Let's see. NK, very, very small. I think winner, $10. Yeah, $10. I've seen, you know, it coming up here, and it's been having some decent days, you know, running up like yesterday, but I was kind of hoping it would get back up to yesterday's highs, but it wasn't working. I just got out. CODX, $200 loss. Right here at like 219, I was up like 200, but on this candle here, I went ahead and got out. In NVC, this one's a huge disappointment because I was up 700 locked in, and then decided to get back in, and I finished down $1,100. This candle here is when I was up 700, and it kept popping up right here, you know, staying right here. And then this candle, it opened here and then popped up, and I went ahead and jumped back in, and then it flushed down. I gave it a minute. You know, it popped up. It was kind of consolidating in this area. Then this candle popped up. I was hopeful, and then it flushed down, and then, you know, I got out. So it is what it is there. And then, you know, you've been watching me trade TWMC pretty much all day, and it's no, this is the wrong NVC. Oh man, I was so excited there for a second. Actually, I do want to kind of watch. See, this is still one of the VWAPs, so let's see what's going on over here. So it did have an offering, fell. What was that, yesterday? I don't know. It didn't do anything yesterday, but today it's kind of having a nice little bounce. I don't think it's a play that's going to like spike hard and get halted or anything. I thought it might get halted in this candle, but it didn't. But let's see, let's remove that drawing. 2,000, 20,000, yeah. And the volume's not like crazy high or anything. Kern's selling off. CODX, disappointment. Nothing really happened with it. So TWMC is really the only trade that I want to take, and I just want to see it get back above the VWAP and back above $8. But I just don't know if it's got any left in it. It's such a low float. so many people probably made money in the first minute of the day that they're done with it, and other traders are just not pushing it up enough. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna keep watching TWMC from my phone. So if I make a trade later, I will come back in and edit in the YouTube description. So as of now, finishing down 2660. Go ahead and download this statement. Boom. All right. Well, good luck everyone out there still trading. I will see you guys probably tomorrow.